Good morning, you guys. This is the poem you're going to be looking at today. This is kind of the inspiration for the play that we are going to start reading tomorrow. So, this is a Langston Hughes poem. You should remember his name from our Harlem Renaissance unit. So, remember, Langston Hughes was a folk artist poet, right? He believed that he should be writing things that celebrates the common African American man, right? Their successes, their struggles, their culture, so on and so on. You're going to notice he speaks in a common language, but that doesn't mean that it's still not going to be filled with devices because as you can see, I've pre-annotated this for you to make it a little easier. These are the things we're going to be analyzing. So alliteration, remember that's your repetition of your consonant sound. Billy Baker bought bread, right? Ba 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 ba. Similes, those are our comparisons that use like or as. Rhetorical questions, right? Questions that you don't really expect an answer to. Those are easy to identify because we'll see our question marks. And then this is a new one for you guys. This is called polysyndeton. This is the another type of repetition. It's a repetition of your coordinating conjunction. So your fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet. So, okay. So as we read this, look at how I found those devices for you and try to think, why is he using these devices? Okay, so this poem is called A Dream Deferred by Langston Hughes. And I've defined that word for you. I'm not sure if you knew what that meant, but that just means to put something off until a later time, to delay something. So again, he always writes from the perspective of a common African American person. So try to think back in the 1950s, why were African Americans having to delay their dreams? Okay. Notice, right? This is alliteration right off the bat. He asks, what happens to a dream deferred? He does not expect us to answer this for him, right? He is posing this rhetorical question. He's going to answer it for us. You're going to notice he lists, this is called cataloging, a bunch of different possibilities of what happens to your dream when you delay it. I think you're going to notice that he wants people to follow their dreams immediately, right? As soon as they happen, because if you don't, they may never happen. Okay. He's also probably criticizing the things that are getting in the way of African Americans successfully achieving their dreams. Okay. So look at what he says first, right? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? So hopefully you notice that simile. Okay. So dried up, it's totally shriveled and withered. Again, totally unrecognizable from what that dream used to be. Or, that's our polysyndeton because my coordinating conjunction, or fester like a sore and, right, more polysyndeton, then run. So look at this simile, fester like a sore and then run. I'm disgusting. I watch those pimple videos online. So this is what I tend to imagine when I read this part of the poem. So think of this big, deep rooted zit, right? It's painful to defer your dream or to delay your dream. And then eventually, right, it just kind of busts open, still painful, and then oozes out again, almost like this pus spilling over. Again, not the most beautiful image. He uses this grotesque image to show how bad it is to delay your dream. He offers a third suggestion. Does it stink like rotten meat? So we've all probably, look at the simile, we've all probably had spoiled fish or beef or something in our fridge before, right? Imagine smelling that. What do we normally do to that meat once we smell that it has gone bad, right? We toss it away. So he's saying the same thing about these dreams that are being deferred. They often not only get delayed, but they get tossed aside, right? They get thrown out. This next one, when you first think about it, doesn't sound too bad. He says, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet. Notice our alliteration, syrupy sweet. Oh, hold on. I missed a rhetorical question here. Again, syrupy sweet doesn't sound too bad, but when you think about what he's really referring to, imagine having like a pudding or a candy. Like think of your Starburst, okay? When you have a Starburst, at first it's soft and it's delicious, but once you find one that's been in your purse for 2 years, right, it's hard and it doesn't taste good. This, again, the dream's hardening and something that you're going to toss out, okay? Look at this one. Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Look at that simile. You guys can probably relate to this. You carry around your big backpacks all day across Bubble East. How does that feel to carry this around all the time? You probably are getting pretty exhausted of carrying it around and you want to just remove it, give up on it, take it away. This last one, or does it just explode? When I think of an explosion, I think of something violent and, again, kind of negative. What happens to the dream if it explodes? Do you still have that dream? No, it's been shredded to pieces. Hopefully, yesterday, whenever you did your web quest, you now have a better understanding why he might use that image of an explosion. Think of the violence African Americans endured, especially in the 1950s. Um, Today, after you listen to this video and look at these annotations, you are completing your response. So that should be under the classwork section. Make sure you are using textual evidence in that response. So when you cite a line number for the poem, just give me his name in parentheses and then whatever line you're referring to. Again, if you're referring to more than one line, you could say like lines 3 and 4, whatever it is. And then make sure you're also including information that you probably learned during yesterday's web quest. Okay. Let us know if you have any questions.